I've been able to visit every single county within Wisconsin, and I have made it my goal to be able to do that every year that I'm lieutenant governor, because I do think it's important. I think it's important to go out and talk to people where they are, where they live, talk to them about what they're seeing in their community. What kind of problems are they having? What do they see as solutions? What do they want the Wisconsin government to do? And talking to people as well who may not agree with me. And that is one of my favorite things to do when I was in the assembly. I got to be honest, because I flipped a district, right, from red to blue. And so it was about a 50-50 district. So there were people who did not vote for me. But if they would call in and they would talk to me about either some legislation that was out there or a decision I had made on a vote, I called every single one of them back, if I could.
Yeah.
I tried to call every single one of them back. And if I got a hold of them, I would at least have a conversation to say, hey, tell me, where you're coming from. Let me hear, what your issues are. And then I would say, well, here's how I'm making my decision about this particular legislation. And at the end of the day, 99% of the time, we might not have agreed on that vote that I took, but we could have a conversation about it. And that's where we need to get to within politics, is to continue to have that hope that we can have those conversations, because you and I know within our neighborhoods, we are having those conversations. So we should hold our politicians to that same standard.
I mean, it's the same thing with Trygve and I hear about all across Wisconsin. Is just find ways to get along. We don't always have to agree on everything,
Right.
but find ways to get along to move Wisconsin forward. Yes, Trygve?
No, I mean, I think that's spot on. I've said to a lot of people, and I've known them both for a while, if I could convince my wife to move back to Wisconsin, I'd move back in a heartbeat. And if I had Tony Evers as my neighbor on the left and Robin Voss as my neighbor on the right, at least I'd know that if my mom got sick, they'd both be bringing casseroles, right? Because it's not like they're bad people. The bottom line is people in Wisconsin want people to work together.
They do.
They just do.
They just do.
And to be honest, it pains me because, for example, with Robin, I've known Robin for a long time, but when you have people like Scott Walker who really don't want to work with anybody because they just want to be somebody, it makes it really hard. And I would think that is a hard thing for you.
Yeah, it can be frustrating.
Because you can't have a deal with people who don't want to make a deal with you.
Right. And when we have the old maps, which were very, very gerrymandered, and if people don't understand how Wisconsin works, is the governor and I won by about 3 percentage points, which is, it's a joke. It's a landslide in Wisconsin, 3 percentage points, right?
Yeah.
So Democratic governor, Democratic lieutenant governor, and yet there was a supermajority of Republicans in the Senate, the state Senate, and almost a supermajority in the state assembly, short just by 2 seats in the state assembly. That doesn't make any logical sense to people. That is not representative of the people of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And so that is why when there was a Supreme Court position that came available talking about those types of gerrymandered maps and what looks like what should be fair and just within the political atmosphere and the political world, you want to have a map that reflects the people of Wisconsin. And so we have new maps that are coming up. This November election, we're going to be electing almost an entirely new legislature. That's very exciting to me. And we're going to have a whole lot more purple districts like my own.
Yeah.
And what people don't understand about gerrymandering, it's not just about the power. It's about when you have deep red districts and deep blue districts, there is a disincentive to work together.
Right.
Because the only thing you're afraid of is somebody, a primary on your right or a primary on your left. You are not afraid of losing your seat to the other party.
Yeah.
So it's a disincentive to work together. So now that we have many more purple districts, regardless of who wins them, I hope it's Democrats because I want to be able to work with them. But regardless of who wins them, they're going to have an incentive to work across the aisle to be able to keep their seats in the